Hey writers, at this point in our literary essay unit, we have read through 3 different stories and created 3 different Foursquare organizers. We have chosen one of those stories and we're starting to move forward with our literary essay. So in the story that you've chosen, you have a thesis statement written that talks about our theme. You have 1, 2, 3 pieces of supporting details, and for every supporting detail you've found a quote to match. Now, if you do not have that, please write your name on the board to receive some help. I will be doing a lot of writing conferences today to make sure we're all on the same page. So if you need help with these parts, please put your name up on the board. Today, what we're going to do, before we move on to expanding this into our literary essay, what we need to do is stop thinking in a Foursquare and start thinking vertically instead, in an essay form, top to bottom. So today we're just going to be transferring the information we have, not writing new information, but transferring what we have into a different format. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to show you my thesis in body 1 to begin with. So here, for writing my thesis, if you notice in my box it says, sometimes it is better to forgive someone for their actions because you never know what they may be going through. So there's really only one thing that we need to add to this. The rest we're just going to be copying right down. What I notice is if my thesis is in an introduction paragraph, I need to tell my readers what story I'm writing about, and I need to tell them who my author is. So if you notice, I have here, sometimes it's better to forgive people for their actions because you never know what they may be going through. That is word for word from my organizer here. The only thing I added is, in the story, Thank You Ma'am by Langston Hughes, we learn that sometimes it is better to forgive people for their actions because you never know what they may be going through. So for your thesis, you can add this sentence starter. In the story, fill in your story, fill in your author. We learned that, fill in your thesis statement. So you'll be doing that for your organizer at the end of this video. So how do we fill in the rest of these body paragraph boxes? Let's take a look at body 1. My first piece of evidence, and I have a sentence starter here early in the story because it's pretty common that your first piece of evidence is one of the first things you think of from the beginning of your story. If it's not, you can reorganize your evidence. So I have here, he's not taken care of, so I can go ahead and finish that sentence. Early in the story, and I'm going to say, we find out the boy, that's our main character, is not taken care of. So I'm just turning that note into a complete sentence. Now I have a quotation here. So I can add that next. So I can say on page 43, it says, and now I'm putting my quotes in, he looks as if he were 14 or 15, frail and willow wild, in tennis shoes and blue jeans. And that's all you need to do right now. This part that says this shows that, you're not going to do that yet. So all you need to do today is take your thesis, add our sentence starter, and then transfer the information from this organizer into our vertical organizer. So I had gone ahead and did the same thing with body paragraphs 2 and 3. Transferring what I said here onto a vertical organizer. So body paragraph 2 says, later in the story, we read, the boy's family is not around. On page 45, it says, there's nobody home at my house. Then again, I'm leaving this part blank for later. Body paragraph 3, at the end of the story, we can conclude the boy is really a good kid. He is just going through hard times. Page 45 says, the woman did not ask the boy anything. Again, leaving this shows that blank. The last thing you can leave blank is your conclusion, because we are not there yet. So today you are filling in your thesis with a sentence starter, body paragraphs 1, 2, and 3, just your evidence in your quotation. Happy writing.